Hi, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise. Tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today's practice is all about taking the conscious decision to be a definer. As always, play when you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. Make sure that for today's practice you have a strap at hand. We are going to modify with the strap for one or two of our little play segments. Find your way to a comfortable stand at the top end of the mat. Set yourself up in mountain, bringing your hands together in prayer, just beginning to maybe close your eyes, take your focus inward. Get a gander of where you are right now. Start to root through your feet. Lengthen through the line of your legs, the line of your spine. Stand tall, stand proud. Then gently flutter open your eyes. Take a big breath in. And on a long exhale, come into table, framing your ears and stretching the back of your legs, stretching the line of your arms. We're going to do that twice more, alternating between mountain and table. Hold your last table. Keep as level as you can through the trunk while you transition to a warrior three. Maybe beginning to slide the left leg back, use your big toe to find your balance, then float the leg up and try to keep that beautiful line through your trunk. Then bend your lead leg and take a warrior one step back, angling in the back foot, floating your arms overhead, root through that back leg, find your stance, define yourself. Keep that basic frame through the legs, but straighten up the lead leg. Start to pivot towards the open side of the body and bleed your way into a triangle, finding purchase on the inseam of your lead leg. Pause here for a moment, opening through the left side of your body. Then see if you can change the rotation through your trunk and begin to twist towards your lead leg. You can find purchase on the inside or the outside of your lead leg. Stay here in your rotated triangle or find your way into a rotated half moon. Start to soften your lead leg. Place your left hand on the floor in front of your right leg and then transfer the weight from the back leg to the front leg and do a gentle kick up. Think warrior three with a slight rotation. Ease your way from here into a pyramid frame, stepping up the back leg slightly and then starting to play with the transfer of weight between the front and the back leg, starting to prep the front leg for that intense stretch. When you're ready to hold the pyramid, grounding through both legs, and just take a soft fold forward, thinking nose coming as close as it wants to your lead, shin, or knee. Keep all 10 toes looking to the front of the mat. Then surreptitiously reach for your strap. I've made a little loop in the end of my strap, and then see if you can feed that loop around your right foot. Step up the back leg, coming into a gentle forward fold. Pause here for a moment, and then when you're ready, soften your knees and bleed up into a tall stand, bringing the strap with you. We're going to come into a lotus tree line. So you're going to start bending the right knee And you're going to tuck that foot in as close to the inside of your left hip as you can, holding onto the strap with both hands and using the strap as an assist so that you can just relax into the half lotus line from a standing position and just make the knee nice and heavy away from you. You're going to try to hold for a bit, looking for balance, looking for control. When you're ready to come out of your half lotus tree, you're going to release the foot. Maybe just give yourself a soft forward fold so that you can just release the strap out from underneath your foot. Make sure it's accessible for your next round. And then bleed back up to your original stand in mountain. Hands in prayer in front of your heart. And start to oscillate. One tall, proud mountain prayer. One reaching table. Give yourself at least 3 turns, starting to prep the back chain of your legs, starting to look for that length through the arms and the spine. Then hold your third table and use it to transition into your warrior 3, floating the right leg up this time. Transition to your warrior 1, remembering to angle in that back foot. Stand tall, stand proud. Define your warrior. Transition to triangle. Straighten the lead leg, begin to pivot towards the open side of your body and set up your arm line. Then twist your trunk in the opposite direction, finding purchase on the inside or the outside of your lead leg. Stay here in your twisted or your rotated triangle, or find your way into a rotated balancing half moon. Then warrior 3 with a little twist. Find your pyramid frame between the 2 legs and start to play with that weight placement in the feet. Playing seesaw style. Then hold your pyramid steady. Settle in. Take a step up, reach for your strap. We're going to loop left foot this time. When you're ready to transition from your forward fold, lead your way to a nice tall stand. Start to bend the left leg, allow the knee to fall up. Take a moment to set up that half lotus line and then use the strap. Hold on to the strap and just settle into the half lotus line. Breathe. Remember this half lotus tree line. Put it in your memory banks. The next time we come here, we're going to try to do it freestyle, sans strap, and we'll play with the arms. Alright. Release your leg, release your strap. Just place it one side. Then bleed your way back up into mountain, but this time relax the arms heavy at your side. Sort of reach your fingertips for the floor and drop your shoulders away from your ears. Then this time, as you fold forward into table, reach the arms behind you, or do a soft interlace or a full interlace, making a fist, bringing the two palms flush against one another. We'll do that 3 times. Tall mountain, arms relaxed at your side. And then a fisted tabletop position. Find your rhythm. We'll use the last fisted tabletop position to transition into a fisted warrior 3. Transition into a warrior 2, taking a big lunge, step back, and then starting to drop your fisted hands to the floor and peek up towards the sky. Keep your warrior 2 stance nice and wide through the legs. Make sure that back leg is open at 90. Then uninterlace the arms and float into a traditional warrior 2. Arms long and reaching, lead arm reaches for the front wall and the back arm reaches for the back wall. Stand tall, stand proud. Define yourself through your warrior. Look for strength, look for courage. Transition to an extended side angle, either relaxing to your lead thigh or right hand to the floor on the inseam of your lead leg, and bring that back arm as close to your ear as you can, pausing here and looking for that intense stretch through the entire left side of your body. Rotated high lunge comes next. Relax your left hand to the floor. Start to pivot on the back foot, rotate towards your lead leg, and throw the right arm up to the sky. Looking to drop down through the pelvis and hold. Back heel off the floor. Think about how you can use this rotated high lunge to find your way into a side plank, and you can play up the side plank. So you can either sweep your lead leg back and just do a step up on your right foot and keep your left hip off the floor, or you can extend both legs, knife edging one in front of the other, or you could find a stacked position, one leg on top of the other. Transition to a full plank. Body line parallel to the mat. Transition to an up dog. Dipping your hips with care through the plank line and thinking almost cobra or swan-like line through the neck. Down dog, and take a moment to shift your legs in slightly so that you can anchor through the feet and then hold that intense stretch through the legs, spine, and arms. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, reach the right arm across the midline. For the left leg, you could be doing thigh, calf, or maybe ankle. And then maybe think threaded look peeking underneath your left armpit. Then let's change sides. Reaching with your left hand across the midline and finding purchase on the outside of your right leg. Lead your way back to your down dog. Peel your toes off the mat, peel your heels off the mat, my bad. Bend your knees and bump the weight back into your bum. Find your way onto the tips of your fingers. And then take a froggy hop or step out to the outside of both hands, splaying your feet softly out and walk your way up into a midway squat, relaxing your hands to the tops of your thighs. And just begin to shift the weight side to side. Come to stillness, center aligned. Tuck your tailbone underneath the carriage of your trunk and keep it there. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, drop your right shoulder to the floor and peek over your left, keeping that slight rotation to the trunk. Big breath in, come back to the middle. Let's do the same to the second side. Lead your way back to the middle. And then start to extend the legs, coming into a modified star, Tarasana. See if you can float the hands behind, loose interlace or a tight fist. Maybe you can find a gentle back bend, starting to hollow out your back and open up your belly, chest and throat center to the sky. Then realign and see if you can heel toe your feet in, coming into a tree line on the right. It could be a small tree, just placing the sole of your foot low on the inseam of the right leg, or you could be wrapping around the calf, or you can use this as an opportunity to find your way back into the half lotus line with your hands fisted behind you. And unravel. Find your way back to your tall mountain. Big breath in. On an exhale, fold into table and fist the hands behind you. Back chain of the legs should be feeling a lot warmer. We're going to play 3 times, setting ourselves up, doing the prep work. Hold your last one. And when you're ready, transition to a warrior 3. Big step back into a warrior 2. Start to drop your fisted hands to the floor and look for that gentle curve through the spine as you look up towards the sky. Transition from your peaceful warrior into just a standard warrior two. Thinking T-frame arms, reaching long, reaching broad. Transition to a side angle, resting on your lead thigh or hand to floor. Bringing that back on nice and close to your ear and staying here, stretching the whole right side of your body. Then plant your right hand on the floor and rotate towards your left leg, bringing the back heel off the floor and find your way into a rotated high lunge. Settle in, make those hips nice and heavy to the floor. Then decide how to use your legs to find your way into a side plank. Maybe you just wiggle walking the lead leg back, and then as you drop your weight, you just step up your anchoring leg and you keep it planted to the floor. Or maybe you'd like to knife edge but stagger, or perhaps you'd like to stack. Pause here once you've defined the side plank that works for you. Transition to full plank. Hold it. Look for strength. Engage your core. Start to dip your hips. Find your up dog. Translate it to a down dog, taking a moment to slide your legs in and really anchor through those feet. Stretch. Then reach through opposite hand to leg, holding an oblique down dog. Change sides. Then start to relax your dog, thinking heels off, knees bent, bum twist back, high on those fingers. Step it up or take a hop. Set up your plie squats, walk your way up, and start to play with that lean of your body weight side to side. Center line, big breath in. Tuck your tailbone under, drop your left shoulder, look over your right. Keep your bum bones nice and heavy. Then change sides. Find your way back to the middle. Start to straighten up your legs. Reach your arms behind you, see if you can maybe fist them. Maybe you can add a gentle back bend and make your knuckles heavy to the floor. Realign. Start to walk your legs in. You're going to set up a tree line on the left. Maybe you're playing small. Maybe you're finding the courage to slide up a little bit higher. Maybe you can ease your way into that half lotus line. And then fist the hands behind your back. Unravel and find your way into a gentle forward fold. Could be hands to thighs, shins, or floor. Pause in your fold once you've found it. Experiment with the weight in your feet. Find your maximum stretch. We're going to step back into a plank line. From here you could step or hop. Hold your plank steady once you've found it. Strong arms, strong core, strong legs. Then think knee up on the right. Cross the leg over the midline, knife edging your foot. And find your way into a fallen triangle, making your right hip heavy to the floor. Stay or play. Begin to bend your back knee, ground your back foot. Keep your right hip up off the floor and tuck your left hand behind your head so you're in a modified wild thing. Hold it. Think of it as a marriage between wild thing and fallen triangle. Hold it. Feel that beautiful opening through the left side of your chest. Find your way back into fallen triangle. Then start to bend the right knee, bring it back across the midline, drape the leg to the floor, release the back knee, shin and foot. Wiggle, walk your back leg away. And then take a moment to just settle into your pigeon. Maybe start by tapping your right bum to the floor, so you're rolling right to one side and then bringing it back to neutral. And just playing with that movement. Getting a sense of what it feels like when you destabilize through the pelvis and then what it feels like when you're stabilized. We're going to try to end with both shoulders alongside each other and both hips alongside each other. Stay here or bleed your way down onto the arms, stacking your forearms and resting your third eye to the back of your arms, actively pressing into your third eye, that little spot between the two eyebrows. Take a few conscious deep breaths here, looking for lateral expansion through the ribs on each inhale. Walk your way back up. Take a sit on your right bum bone. Look over your left shoulder for your back leg. Reach for it, swing it around. Tuck it to the outside of your right knee. Make space for both of your bum bones on the mat and then twist towards your lead leg, grabbing with your hand or hooking with your elbow or hooking with your extended arm. As you settle into a little seated spinal twist, looking over your back shoulder for the back edge of your mat. Keep making that left bum bone nice and heavy to the floor. Don't allow it to float. Untwist your trunk. Reach for your left foot. You can do this with or without the strap. And start to extend the leg, dipping back into a slight boat-like position. Stay here or take your right arm, feed it underneath the left, see if you can cross at the wrists and hold onto the undercarriage of your foot while holding your heron. Your trunk is slightly rotating to the left so that you're looking at your left leg head on. Stay here in heron pose, Crouchasana, or see if you can translate it into a dancing bear derivative. You can bend at the knee if you need to. Start to reach for the undercarriage of your right foot, either holding a bent V through the leg, so think V boat line, or work with an extended leg line and hold it. If you are in the full expression, stretch not only your legs, but your spine and your arms. Breathe. Think about how you can transition from your current frame into a deep or a midway squat line on the mat. Maybe bending your knees, planting your feet on the floor, and walking your way up to a squat. You could do hands to active prayer, hands to prayer just using your fingertips. You could be coming to a cactus on frame, or you could do hands on the floor, and you can play with a release, a side to side release first before you settle in if you're really tight. Play where you're at and settle in. And if you find the deep squat too much right now, maybe just come to a butterfly seat on the mat. Find your way to the forward fold, just bringing those feet in slightly, heel toeing in, and then holding the foot. Step or hop back into a plank. Hold your plank steady once you've found it. Big knee up on the left. Cross over the midline and set up your fallen triangle. Making your left hip nice and heavy to the floor. Stay here or find a hybrid with Wild Thing by beginning to pivot on the back foot, bend the knee, anchor the foot. Keep your hips up nice and high and see if you can tuck your right hand behind your head, think elbow to sky. Back to fallen triangle. And then think about how you can use your fallen triangle to bleed your way into a pigeon. Start to bend the left knee, drag it across the midline. Set up your pigeon on the front and the back leg. And once you're in position, start to fall onto the left bum and to roll back into neutral. Give yourself a few preparatory rolls. And then settle in, squaring up through your shoulders and your hips. Maybe you can bleed your way onto the forearms and look for a little active press into your third eye. Nice deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Look for that lateral expansion through your ribs. Lead your way back up. We're going to find our way into a little half Lord sit. So take a sit on your left bum bone, swing the right leg around, ground it to the outside of your left knee, and then rotate. Maybe grabbing with your hand, hooking with your elbow, or using your extended arm to find that hook. Untwist your trunk. See if you can take the right hand and reach for the undercarriage of the right foot and transition into hero. Use your strap if you need to. Stay here, supporting with one hand and holding with the other, or take the left hand, tuck it underneath the right, reaching for the undercarriage of your foot, crossing at the wrists, and rotating slightly to the right so that you're looking at your right leg head on. When you're ready, think V-boat, either keeping the legs extended throughout as you transition, or working with a bend and then an extend, or staying with the bend to the leg line. Hold. Transition to a deep squat when you're ready. And make it a deep squat of your choice. While you're chilling in your deep squats, just a little heads up on the next series, we are going to be playing in a supine position and we're going to be actively using our strap. So when you're ready, reach for your strap. Make your way onto the back, and then once you've arrived on your back, loop the strap around your right foot and find your way into an A-line stretch. Whether you can comfortably reach your right foot side strap or not, let's all just play with the strap today so that you can really lean into it and maybe work a little bit deeper. Grounding your back line into the mat, tugging onto the strap with both hands, and seeing if you can just open up the back chain of that right leg a little bit more. Maybe extending the left leg with an active brace into your foot. Then think about trying to replicate that half lotus line we were playing with earlier on from a standing position. But this time we're going to do it on the back. So start to bend the right knee. Start to tuck the foot in to the inside of the left hip. And you can hold on with the strap or you can do one hand on the strap, one hand on the foot. Use the strap to assist you so that you can really just work a little bit deeper. Like that right knee heavy as if somebody was standing over you and taking their palm, pressing down and away on the inside of the right knee. Transition back to your A-line stretch. Grab hold of the strap in the right hand, T-frame on the left, and when you're ready, big breath in, open into a B-line stretch, dropping the leg to your left while you look to the right. Trying to keep both shoulders and both bum cheeks on the mat. Look away from your falling leg. Back to your half lotus line when you're ready. Using just strap or strap and hand. Then re-ground both feet. Lift your hips off the floor and bump yourself slightly off center to the right. Re-ground to the mat, extending your left leg, right leg to sky. Grab opposite hand to strap and then pull the right leg across the midline, trying to stack your right hip on top of the left. Look away from your falling leg line and try to keep both shoulders on the mat as best you can. If you need to, you can bend your right knee and maybe just hold on to the outside of the knee if keeping the extended leg line is too much for you. Find your way back to your A-line stretch, remembering to bump your hips back to neutral and then tuck back in to that half lotus line. Staying here, or you could transition to a figure four bridge by sliding your left leg, your right leg down the chain of your left thigh and then just peeling up into a figure four bridge. If you'd like to play, you're going to transition from your half lotus line into a full lotus line on the back. So tuck in on the right and then start to bring the left leg in, seeing if you can hook it over your right leg. Just tuck the two legs into the lotus line, thinking heels to the inside of your hips, and just pause here in your lotus seat. Then unravel yourself. If you were in a full lotus line, just give your ankles a little release. Make sure you remove the strap from your right leg. We're going to play left. So when you're ready, hook the strap around your left foot. Find your first A-line stretch and settle in. Extend your support leg when you're ready. Tuck into the half lotus line when you're ready, using strap and hand or just strap. Visualize somebody pressing down and away on the inside of your left knee. Extend back up into the A-line stretch. And then when you're ready, open up into the B-line stretch. Looking away from your falling leg and holding the stretch once you found it. Find your way from here back into your half lotus line. Settle in and just hold the stretch. Then ground both feet, bump your hips off the mat, slightly off center to the left to re-ground. Extend your support leg, float your left leg up to the sky, and then grab opposite hand to strap and pull across the midline, trying to stack left hip on top of right, twisting away from your falling leg, bending the knee of your top leg if you need it. Settle in. Lead your way from here back into your half lotus line, remembering to bump your hips back to neutral first. Settle in when you're ready. Stay here in your half lotus line or find your way to either a figure four bridge or a full lotus line. And then just settle into whichever choice you've made and just hold. When you're ready to come out, make sure that you loose the strap and then just give your ankles a little release, especially if you were in the full lotus line. Then pick a pose to end off today's practice. It could be in Shavasana with your arms and your legs softly splayed out from a supine position. You could be in a supine butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees bent and wide. Maybe you're feeling a bridge-like setup with a relaxed knee line. Or perhaps you'd like to come into a seated frame, maybe just easy sit or a half or a full lotus. Settle in, close your eyes, take your focus inward. And then take your mind back to our keyword for today's practice, which was the word definer. Have courage for whatever you need to face today. You will always remember your beginning and your end. So plan to start strong and plan to end even stronger. Definitions belong to the definers, not the defined. Are you ruling your life or being ruled by it? Are you a definer or a defined? The decision is yours. With those thoughts, Let's end off today's practice on the words Namaste. See yourself, recognize yourself, define yourself. You are a definer today. Thank you so much for making the time to come out and play with me today. Till next time, keep it light.